On the coming up of the full moon harvest of the 20th through the 28th, all allodial rights reserved. The Inquisitionist would come up to steal, to try to steal the harvest of my ancestors through Kono Treme. That means the true energy, the real money, which is my spirituality, which is my heart plus my mind plus my body, civically, which is my natural law expressed, economy, which is my thought, speech, and action, and my politics, which is how I put it all together, will self-assembly. They sent men, women, children, and beings to operate their levels of Spanish Inquisition against my estate. They moved to attack Treme via annexis olim prohibit orum librum exporius prohibitorum, censoring and, different ways to try to screw with you, when a series of which was a series of military science operations for the ultimate goal of negative law and mind control, social engineering, socialization, and predictive programming, with tactics of threat, duress, coercion, and intimidation. Using the access points of the occupying and unlawful forces and tactics of affecting the environment of which I was present. I respected my divine spirit, which is my mind plus my heart plus my body, civically, economically, and politically, and my harvest was protected from the occupying unlawful criminal operations of nature's enemies. On the 28th of the moon 144,000 heart soul reversion of a state, 15 out of 30, the moon was 15 days old out of the 28 days. It was a full moon harvest. The moon was coming from Capricorn, which is balanced out by Cancer, going into Aquarius, which is balanced out by Leo. Leo is currently in his nationalized sign, which is the sun, Corona. Aquarius is an estoppel zodiac sign, as Capricorn is a reversion of a state zodiac sign. Using Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey as a catalyst, my divine spirit, civic, economic, and political, gave Treme a tool for use. This was the tool. These are men and women, beings, etc., all allodial rights reserved, who are carrying out these missions. They have information maxims on you and use it to wage war against your estate. They harass and stalk you in cars and many other ways. Use this tool to do the same to them. They are individuals who carry out these missions. Take this. This is all the information maxims on them. Use it on them as they have and do use it on you. I took the tool and put it to use in my genetics. I laid allodial claim to every man, woman, child, person, place, and thing with information on Treme, etc. I now have all that information, maxims, and more about every man, woman, child, person, place, and thing that they have about the idea, etc., maxims of Treme, etc., about them. They use this information, maxims, about the idea of Treme, etc., to attack my estate, to steal my birthright, in their Spanish Inquisitions. On Mercury, Tahuti, Hermes, Hermeticus, Nordics, Bid, Veva, El, July 29th, 2026, all allodial rights reserved. I, with my divine spirit, civically, economically, and politically. Analyze their inquisition moves of their demonic, magistrative, anti-nature attacks against my hereditament, inheritance. I focus maxims on the tool reserved from my soul, etc. Or I focus maxims on the tool received from my soul, etc. As it concerned, these are men / women / children / beings carrying out these attacks. I use my hereditament, inheritance, and hergy to see who they were, what they are and do, where their 24/7 locations are, when they think, speak, and act, and why they think, speak, and act the way they do, and how they think and speak and act. I would send their information maxims to other national and divine Moors and true citizens who are for a free national government, according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who are not a party to the birthright Spanish Inquisitions against our estate, however, being injured by the Spanish Inquisitions. I sent my breakthroughs, Brero Toro Dodo Dodo Anomaly, Secres Quarido Circulus, that means the breakthroughs within my DNA. I sent my breakthroughs within my DNA to Moors, divine and national, and true citizens who are for a free national government, according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, of higher degrees and lower degrees, for cross-examination, critique, and we would exchange information maxims to counter the criminals of nature operations against our estate. About 4:40 a.m. when I came in from the bathroom, it's this machine, this energy harvesting machine that's used over here that comes on once I come inside the living room about 4:40 a.m. And then I continue to writ. I then went to so-called sleeping operator states, and I medititi esciuflore on myself, my family, my community, my nation, my internation, my human family, and the vague and detailed information maxims about whatever incarnation I choose to come in. I spend and balance our chakras, our frequency territories, which is parts of the body, our divine and national glands, our colors within our auras, our protective, offensive, and defensive flourishing mechanisms called resurrexit / cherubim / seraphim. And that's the mechanism to make sure that our enemies can't attack us. Our auras, our defensive apparatus against attacks, our offensive apparatuses against our defensive apparatuses against attacks, our offensive apparatuses against attacks, and our flourishing mechanism for our unmolested, uninhibited birthright usage without the interference of the demons and the Spanish Inquisitions and our regional, territorial, and global and galactic jurisdictional protection mechanism. Then, as I use the catalyst, Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey, Dr. Gilliam, at the House of Reawakening Minds lecture called Nunc Pro Tunc, Now for Then, All Rights Reserved, made February 21st, 2020. I rested my hereditament, inheritance, divine and nationally, in the physical, although metaphysically, quantum physically, and occult, I continue to help the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his great missionary work to return our people, etc., to the constitutional fold of government. I was given stare decisis, nationally and divinely, a case. And that case is in re Micolta 1911, It's spelled I-N space R-E space M-C-U-L-T-A. It was done in 1911. And that case states common law dominates so-called legal foreign feudal operations of Spanish inquisitions against our state, meaning we are born with the birthright. We are the judges in all of these different operations on these lands of these occupying forces of demons and liars and terrorists against us to traumatize us and do many things to indirectly and or directly put us in pain or stress using threat, duress, coercion, intimidation. Those are de facto. They really have no power except the power that we give them, and that's national and divine. Stare decisis. Then I, etc., separated the wheat from the tares, / the de facto from the de jure, as it concerned treme, etc., not so-called, as it concerned me, not so-called falling asleep operating the states. Easier. I imagined, Maxims, a de facto Spanish Inquisition operation attacking my hereditaments via machinery to prevent sleep operate estates. Then I imagined, Maxims, de jure, the astronomical phenomenon in hergy harvest within treme, etc. So I, etc., went into the womb of the great Moabitus within, and we spoke of returning our people, etc., to the constitutional fold of government and the true politics, will self-assembly of the planet at this level, i.e., who is original to the planet and who is not. Then I lay and feel a bug on treme, etc. I counter it and continue my great works for the maintenance, in parentheses, establishment, refinement, and expansion of the planet, of which I am responsible for as its son and mother. I prepared Heres ek anima genus, HM2315, which is today's writs. It's Latin for heirs of the soul's genius. I prepared, I'm going to say it again, Heres ek anima genus, and writ this estoppel, adverse claims, and reversions of a state report. This is a notice to my etc. estate of me being my own keeper, my brother's keeper, my sister's keeper, and my mother and son's keeper. I give them my estate and know and expect natural law to take care of treme.